3 years ago I was fat and now I'm pretty jacked, and in this video I will go over 3 things I was doing at the beginning of my journey that I genuinely think have helped me to see a lot more results. Before I go over them, I just want to put this disclaimer on. I'm not a guru, I don't know if these things really work, they just worked for me, and I won't be going over simple things like eat low calorie dense foods, bro, because you probably know about them. The first thing, and this thing, is the one thing that I don't see a lot of people do when they try to get in shape, just because it is not really related to fitness, but I'm pretty convinced that it has helped me a lot. Now, before I go over it, let's talk about one of the biggest reasons to why people get fat. One of the major reasons to why people get fat in the first place, it's not necessarily the access to fast food, because there are many people who have access to fast food who are in a great shape. It's also not a lack of knowledge, because the same people who are fat know exactly what to do. They know how to lose weight. They know they need to eat less, but they don't do it. I knew. I didn't do it. It's mental health. This is something that not a lot of people talk about, and I don't know. Some people say men think it's cringe these days to take care of mental health, and I disagree with it, because we all know that being disciplined and being a pretty happy person is important. And in my opinion, being disciplined is a massive aspect of mental health. Because there are a few mental health practices that I was doing, and doing them was not easy. It wasn't like a thing that I naturally did. I needed to actually force myself to go from watching anime or playing video games to do them. And it was not easy, and I even myself thought it is pretty cringe doing them, but here are the practices. Before that, why having a bad mental health actually causes one to get fat, or to be inconsistent with training, or to just eat a bad diet in general. I want to talk about the concept of being undisciplined. Being undisciplined and having the urges to do the bad things is the way to do the bad things. The way to resist doing the bad things is to be disciplined. And the thing about urges is that almost everyone has the urges to do the bad things for fitness, to be sedentary, to watch anime, to play video games, to eat junk food, right? We all have them. And because of that, having discipline is crucial. And the thing about discipline is that you can actually develop it, but people like David Goggins, and I absolutely agree with it, talk about the idea of organizing your mind. Discipline can be built, it can be developed, but if your mind is fucked, if you are constantly overstressed with the bad kind of stress, if you don't feel in control of your life, if you don't accept your life as it is and you feel like a victim all of the time, guess what? You cannot build discipline on top of that kind of mind. You cannot build discipline on top of the mind that thinks that everything is outside of its control. When you think you have this core belief, this statement of truth that everything is outside of your control, guess how you act? You act in accordance to it. You don't act. You can't really be disciplined if you genuinely believe this belief, because you don't really believe that you can do anything about it. This aspect of the mind, relinquishing negative beliefs, and this aspect in general, I will go over it in the third way, but now the first one, and it is practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is a kind of practice, so there are a lot of ways to practice mindfulness. I will go over them in a second, but performing these practices, at first sight, it might seem cringe and weird and what the fuck are you talking about? I just want to lose weight and get in shape, or just gain weight. I just can't stick to my diet. Why the fuck do I need to meditate? Here's the thing. Think about what's mind-wise, experience-wise, the way to lose weight. Practically, it is just eating less, but mind-wise, it is realizing you have the urges to eat more. It is to be aware of them and to purposefully neglect them to do something else. Mindfulness is kind of like the practice of awareness over your mind. When you practice mindfulness, so there are a lot of practices for mindfulness. Let's say meditation, you focus on your breath for some time, let's say 5 minutes, you force yourself to focus on your breath, but then you get distracted by your mind. And your mind distracts you, and that mind distracting you is just inevitable, and it happens in your day-to-day life. But when you purposefully practice mindfulness, You learn to realize, oh, I'm distracted. And then you go back to the breath. And then practically when you lose weight or gain weight, you need to eat more or just need to go to the gym, you get this urge. Let's keep this workout. Instead of being semi-unaware of that feeling urge, right? You become aware of it more because you practice mindfulness and you learn to just divert your attention from this bad urge to the right fucking thought to I need to go today. Let's fucking go to the gym, bro. Don't be a bitch today. And that's what you learn. That's what this practice basically does. So here are three ways to practice it. The first one is meditation. Just sit down, focus on your breath, take a few deep breaths and put a timer for 5 minutes, close your eyes and just try to focus on your breath. When you get distracted, just go back to the breath. It's completely normal. The second way is to just go for walks. So I used all of these ways, by the way, in my own journey. Just go for 20, 30 minutes walks and just don't have headphones on. Just be with your mind. At first, it will be boring as fuck. All of these practices will be really boring, but with enough time, you will learn to semi enjoy them, to enjoy being with your own mind, and because of that, your mental health will improve. Your urges you to eat will go down. That's what studies suggest. That having a better mental health helps with weight loss. And on top of that, you will learn to identify these urges and to ignore them. The third practice is to do any kind of exercise without headphones. When there are headphones on, you become more distracted, and when there are no headphones on, right, you need to just focus in the present moment. When you do this exercise, you just need to focus on the muscle, mind muscle connection. It is a kind of a mindfulness practice that will help you with mindfulness. The second way is to sleep. So you probably know about sleep. I won't over explain it. Sleep is important for building muscle, for losing weight, for recovery in general, which recovery is important for almost any aspect of weight loss, of muscle building, and of weight gain, of bulking you. Sleeping more will allow you to get better results. Sleeping with a higher quality for more time, how much time? As much as you need, right? Getting as much sleep as you need will definitely help you. How do you do that? Basically, to improve your sleep quality, go to sleep and wake up at the same time every day. The third way that I used to improve your gains in the gym is to first identify all of your negative beliefs, the ones that restrict your ability to actually put in the work, the ones that relinquish you control in the world, and especially over your fitness, and the ones that don't really serve you, and to just remove them. To replace them, how do you remove a belief? You replace it with a different belief. You act in accordance to that new statement of truth, and you slowly find more proof to it being true. You search for it, you go and act in accordance to it, and by extension, you develop it as a belief and you replace your current belief with that belief. It's all about developing an attitude that is more optimistic. That's the kind of attitude that will really help you. Throughout my childhood and my teenage years, I was pretty negative. I was not the full-on optimistic guy, and in retrospect, I think it was absolutely dumb to have this attitude because it didn't even serve me in any shape, way, or form. But when I started to lose weight, I learned about mindset a bit and I realized that having a more optimistic mindset is really beneficial. And that's when I started to develop it. That's when I started just force myself to see the future as better than it is right now. Just realize that I'm in control. As long as I put in the work, I will get a result of that work, which is amazing. I will put in that right work. I will also have a life and enjoy life and everything. But I will create a better future for myself. I know it's pretty cringe and it sounds weird and really I would just fucking convince myself I have a different belief. That's my belief. What the fuck are you talking about? Here's the thing. Beliefs are pretty malleable to some extent. Humans don't really change their beliefs from telling to themselves, I have a different belief. That's absolutely moronic, just because, right, they tell themselves, I have a different belief, and the way to actually change their beliefs is to realize that this statement just builds a little bit of momentum towards having a different belief and making sure this momentum goes on by searching for proof to the good belief, by going and acting in accordance to it as if it is true, and by extension to be proved that this belief is right, and it will naturally replace the first belief if it was on the same thing. And that's basically it. If you enjoyed this video, you can like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.